So, System Overload, Eteled. This has been a secret project me and my friends have been working on for months, and since I felt comfy enough to let it be known to the public, I'm very, 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 very sure that there are quite a few questions on the next big Eteled thing. Also, if your question isn't in here, it's most likely because it's basically the same idea as the selected ones, and I don't want to repeat myself like 5 times. Will the story be different? Definitely. I think I've expressed once before how much I think the canon We Lead You story is no step higher than some DeviantArt Wattpad softboy fanfic. The story had so much untapped potential, but instead it was a satiating cesspool for edgy teenagers instead of an actual horror story. Let's just remember, there's an actual line where Eteled says,
"My father was mean, while my mother was nice."
That's an actual line. You'll see once the mod and further details are released, but to explain very shortly, in System Overload, Eteled's a bloodthirsty serial killer who looks for a good excuse to chop people's heads off, usually the excuse being when he's deleted. And Austin's a product of Eteled's madness, dealing with him for so long to send him down to insanity. And now Austin yearns to kill him by any means necessary, no matter how catastrophic the outcome could potentially be. Will there be any bonus content or more after the first week? There will be bonus songs in the mod, but there's only going to be 1 week. Will the burp scream change? Man, it's been 2 years and people still call it the burp scream. Yeah, it'll change, but more so to make it less burpy and more metal. Here's an example. Fun fact, in the original versus Eteled, I was the one who came up with the scream. Chris just never stopped him from being a thing, so I just went with it. 2 questions. First, will there be more songs than just the original 5 in the mod?
I already answered that!
Second, will MIDIs or FLPs be released when the mod comes out? Yeah, definitely. Will there be secret funnies in the files to laugh at? It would be a sin not to do that. So of course, will Eteled be in the mod?
No.
Alright, I got 2 questions. 1, is Eteled actually going to be scary in this mod? And if so, how are you guys going to execute this? Does the screenshot say enough? 2, will Eteled hit the gritty? You know, originally I was going to do a whole bit because of this question, but like, ain't no one gonna take the time to animate Eteled doing the gritty. What's going on with that Requiem guy? Anything new? Do you know if Eteled Reincarnated is cancelled since you're making your own Eteled mod?
Do it look like I give a damn?
Are you going to voice Eteled again? Because I liked your voice as Eteled more. Yeah, don't worry. My Eteled voice is coming back in System Overload. Y'all don't need to hear the murder mystery Jackbox narrator. Is Eteled going to drink the Grimace shake? Happy birthday, Grimace. Roughly what percentage of completion do you think the mod's at? I'd say about like 85% done. We've been very passionate about this and we've been working on System Overload in secret ever since February. Hell, it's even getting done quicker than shit-ass is. How do you feel with Eteled being right behind you? Also, by the way, I say keep up the good work. You deserve it. Aw, it means a lot to hear so much support. You know, these replies warm my heart. Wait, who's behind me? Short and sweet answer, but what will you do after System Overload is completed? If shit-ass isn't already out, Season 2 of Xavion will start being made. And after that, I have no clue. I plan to apply for more professional projects and see if someday in the future, projects can turn into businesses and stuff. How did you come up with the idea of remaking the Versus Eteled mod but with your own team? Ever since I was fighting for my career back then, I always saw Eteled as a burden because I thought, because it was my biggest project, no one would notice me for my other passions. In all honesty, I was never able to move on from Eteled. It's not about the character more than it is about how many people's lives were changed by my work on Eteled in particular. I was messaged non-stop from people saying that I was the reason they got into voice acting or that I got them into making music. For the past 2 years, I always held Eteled as an issue dangling over my head because I felt I would never be able to express that passion ever again to people. My best friend and personal brother, Mr. Fitch, we were talking around the beginning of February about this, and how stressful it was to constantly think about it. I felt like all I wanted was to move on from Eteled, when in reality, I never wanted to let go. And that kind of mental ping pong game going on in my head made it so much more of a problem for me to manage with my past. After talking to him that one time, I came to terms with the accomplishments I got from working on Eteled. And that's when we decided to make System Overload. We were planning on it being a final goodbye to Eteled, as a thank you to all the people who were inspired by me from the original mod. I was ready to face backlash and harassment all over again from it because I was sick of constantly stressing about a part of my career that I initially thought was a burden, but was a blessing overall everything I went through back then. So in Versus Eteled System Overload, it's the next best thing. It's a Versus Eteled entirely run by me and Fitch. It's everything I ever wanted Eteled to be seen as, and more. With this free will with the project, I'm going to express the very thing that changed so many people's lives and make it even better than it was before. Because frankly, every single one of you deserve it. I'm so happy that I can show all this. I haven't felt so at peace with my work in years. And when I say I love my audience, I mean it. Without every single one of you, and I'm serious when I say every single one of you, I would have gave up years ago. Even the smallest things have been so motivating, and the fact this journey's on a whole new beginning is exciting.
Why is my voice so hot?
That was all the questions I could pull together. There were so many other questions, but they all basically raised the same points as the ones I chose. And I didn't want to keep y'all waiting for answers longer than needed. Now that you're still here, I have awesome news to end us off. Merch! More merch! There were originally 4 designs, but guess what? Boom! More! You can have a little baby Anthem in your fake pocket, you can lock them up in fabric for eternity, or you can just vibe out and rock with some nice aesthetics. But wait, there's more. Stickers! Yeah, stickers! Put them on your wall, put them on your laptop, put them on your computer, put them on you! Or just get them for display because you're just that much of an Anthemite. And reminder, I still take music commissions. There ain't no limit to this. So long as I ain't burnt out, I'm good. I can also do voice work too, but like, you gotta ask for details. But yeah, I'm glad to have answered all these questions. If it ain't obvious, me and my friends are real busy behind closed curtains. I'm glad to have such a patient audience. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video, follow my Twitter for mod updates, and join my Discord to be a part of interactive events. Until then, see you next time.
You, everyone, you sit here, you listen to him, and you praise him for all the awful things that he's done! But you guys praise him like he's some god! But don't worry, the only god in this console, in this place, is me. And I will rid him from this world and send him to hell where he belongs. He's not getting away. You understand? They all see you as Eteled, this average me who has a little bit of issues and is misunderstood. And if only the world would understand him. That's not who you are, Henry. You're a monster. A freak! You are everything that's wrong with this world! And you're going to burn in hell!